And boy, I've only reached building for defense, but let's get in there. We know all about the Cabrits. I don't need to tell you, this is one of the original maps with all of the Georgian buildings on it. Fort Shirley and the officers' quarters, classic Georgian pattern. Fort Young, we have the plans for the defense, and those are the ramparts with the chief of police. By that time there was a police station on the ramparts. Of course, all of that is gone. We now have what? 5 or 6 stories in the middle of it? Ours? Farewell, Fort Young. So that's the reality of it. And then we have Fort Young, after it was decommissioned as a military base, becomes the police station. And then eventually a new police station is constructed. But before that, from 1781, you have the prison. So that's the prison from 1781. On the same site as where the police headquarters is now. The British, after the hurricane of 1780, raised funds to help the relief for the poor and dispossessed. And when the money came down to Dominica 2 years later, things took time. They said, well, we really can't distribute to everybody. Some people have left. We don't know who everybody is. So we'll take the money and we'll build a jail. So they built this jail. And they took, after they demolished the jail, they took the stone and they built the police station in 1955-56. And if you go and look at the fire brigade still has the stone, old stone from the original. All of the stone, of course, in the early days, I won't go into the details of the lacho, the coral that was burnt in kilns to produce the mortar to be able to make the things. Cabrits again, trying to revive and rebuild, and the fact that the buildings proved themselves, just like so many other buildings around Dominica that were built and were maintained in the traditional pattern, they survived Maria intact. No damage whatsoever. And it's a good thing too, because I'm sure that if we had been damaged, we'd be waiting for money on also to rebuild. And one of the reasons, of course, is we use the traditional patterns, the jalousie windows, the thick, heavy-duty shutters, and of course the strong, thick walls. We'll do that. And then we have some other military sites around that we've recently been able to restore in tourism. And this is Kashaku, Fort Kashaku. The cannon was down in the sea. We got it up for many years. Then we put it out here. And so we have an important visitor site. And it's amazing on a thing like Facebook how many people pose. And it's a great place to pose. And I told people in tourism, I said, this is like a kind of publicity. Because when they go up there, they see the cannon, and they pose on the cannon, you're getting this fantastic landscape behind you. Another important building, God knows who's going to help and save this building. This is really significant. This is the 1784 building, Oruza Boys School Community. Okay, it was part originally of the Mongoose Garrison. It was where the things were stored. But the things associated with this is amazing. The West India Regiment, the Africans who were brought to be trained as soldiers on the Newtown Savannah, they lived in this building and in the yard around. Then you had, when the House of Assembly was being rebuilt, the House of Assembly was meeting here. Then you had this amazing incident in 1837 when the British Navy captured a slave ship that was coming illegally across the Atlantic, and they freed all the 430 slaves in Dominica. And once again, they were put here in the yard until they distributed all over Dominica. They went and then some of the men went to Trinidad. So, I mean, there's so much associated with this building. And then, of course, the Rosa Boys School and the people that they produced. The Rosa Boys School was such an excellent place of learning. All these amazing people came from the Rosa Boys School. The layout of Rosa in fortifications, well, a lot of this we know. The ruins up at Mont Bruce that had been working with the tourism people before Maria in an effort to see whether we could turn those into something. Well, Maria took them, flattened them down. That's